December 2021, the Game Awards. Amidst a barrage of trailers for sequels and remakes, one new IP stood out. It had distinct retro sci-fi aesthetic reminiscent of 80s VHS covers. It had massive, terrifying mechanical monstrosities, and it was set to the haunting vocals of Robin.
Showtime.
This was Arc Raiders. It promised high-octane cooperative action where humanity was fighting a losing war against machines dropping from orbit. It looked incredible, looked expensive. But more importantly, it was coming from Embark Studios, a new developer founded by Patrick Soderlund, the former head of EA and DICE. These were the people that built Battlefield during its golden age. The hype was immediate. We thought we were getting the next great co-op shooter of 2022.
Yeah, let's go.
We didn't. Instead, we got a years-long saga of delays, a complete identity crisis, a controversial genre pivot, sibling rivalry with another game that changed everything. This is the turbulent development history of Arc Raiders.
Enlist. Resist.
To understand the hype for Arc Raiders, you have to understand Embark. When Soderlund left EA in 2018, he took a significant chunk of senior DICE talent with him to Stockholm. The industry narrative was clear. The real Battlefield developers had left the corporate machine to make something pure. When they revealed Arc Raiders at TGA 2021, it felt like the culmination of that promise. The pitch was seductive, a free-to-play third-person squad-based PvE shooter. The emphasis back then was heavy on cooperative. The marketing painted a picture of a ragtag squad using guerrilla tactics and physics-based gadgets to take down overwhelming AI forces. It felt like the spiritual successor to things like Earth Defense Force or Left 4 Dead, but with that Frostbite engine-style visual fidelity we expected from these devs. The community ate it up. The concept art was stunning, the world building was intriguing, and a 2022 release window seemed plausible. Embark was firing on all cylinders, but they weren't just working on one game.
This trio dominated the rooftops of Monaco and joined Diamond League at
Summer of 2022 arrived, and instead of a release date, we got a delay announcement. In August, Patrick Soderlund posted a blog update dropping a bombshell. Arc Raiders being pushed to 2023. Why? Because they realized they couldn't launch two massive live service games simultaneously. Soderlund admitted that the finals was further along and currently felt more unique in the current market. They decided to bet the house on a destructive game show shooter first. This was the turning point. Arc Raiders, initially the golden child of those 2021 Game Awards, would be shoved to the back burner so its younger sibling could shine. It was a smart business move. Finals would go on to have a massive launch, but it would leave Arc Raiders in limbo, and in that limbo, the game began to change.
Beware of the machines. And beware of raiders who prey on others.
By early 2023, the gaming landscape had shifted. The extraction shooter genre dominated by Escape from Tarkov and Hunt Showdown was exploding. Call of Duty at DMZ, everyone wanted a piece of the high-stakes pie. In May 2023, Embark reemerged with shocking news. Arc Raiders was no longer just a cooperative PvE game, it was now a PvPvE extraction shooter. The premise shifted. You weren't just fighting machines to save humanity, you were dropping into a hostile zone to scavenge for loot, fighting the Arc machines, and fighting other players' squads who wanted to steal your stuff before you extracted. The community reaction was complicated. A very vocal segment of the fan base felt betrayed. They signed up for a chill co-op experience to play with friends, not a sweaty high-stakes grief fest where you lose all your gear to campers. Embark defended the change, arguing that purely fighting AI bots get stale in a long-running live service game. They needed the unpredictability of human combatants to make sure that the stakes stayed high for years to come. They were trading the cozy co-op vibe for adrenaline. Throughout late 2023 and 2024, Embark ran a series of closed technical tests. These weren't marketing betas, they were genuine stress tests of this new identity. The feedback from these tests highlighted the immense challenge Embark had undertaken. Balancing an extraction shooter is notoriously difficult. Make the AI too tough and players can't fight each other. Make the PvP too dominant and the machines feel like background noise. Testers described a game that was visually stunning and mechanically tight thanks to that Battlefield DNA, but one that was still struggling to find the right rhythm between its original PvE roots and the new PvP reality. However, Embark was now learning lessons from running the finals live. They understood the demands of a free-to-play economy, anti-cheat requirements, and weekly updates. This infrastructure knowledge was running directly into refining Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders has since been released. It's been out for a couple weeks now and is wildly popular. It's been a long, strange road, but the game that eventually would launch is vastly different from the Robin-scored co-op dream we saw back in 2021. It's a tougher, meaner, and more complex experience. Whether the pivot to an extraction was the right call or not remains to be seen. It is the million-dollar question. Did they chase the trend just as the bubble was bursting? Or have they changed the landscape for extraction shooters for the positive? One thing is certain. Embark Studios is not afraid to delay a game or completely tear it down if they feel the need is necessary. We waited years for Arc Raiders to arrive. It's finally here, and I think the change has been for the best.